All right, guys, the first thing we're going to do is I just built this kind of very generic model that we're going to use just to kind of work through going from Revit into Rhino and then Rhino back into Revit. So these are the kind of the best practices for kind of full scale ideas. Um, so let's take it away. So the first thing you're going to want to do is if you're in a floor plan, it's just going to bring in the floor plan. So just get two-dimensional information. So if that's what you want to do, then that's great. So let's just go for it. Let's do that first. So I'm just going to go up here to export. Again, I'm making sure I'm on the floor plan. And then I'm going to go up to CAD formats. I'm going to go to DWG. And then you should see these three dots. You're going to click on that, Modify Export Setup. And you're going to go over to solids doesn't matter because we're not doing anything that's three-dimensional, but units does. Just keep this where it's at, but just note that it is in inches. And then for general, you're going to scroll down and you're going to pick 2007 format. Okay? That will make sure that Rhino does accept it. It may accept some of these other formats, but I know it does that, and this isn't anything that is going to change the drawing at all, so it's fine. All right, so then you're going to hit next. Okay, so go to wherever you want to put it. You can go with long way of naming convention, or you go short. I'm just going short just because that just a little simpler. No real reason. All right, so then I'm going to be in Rhino world. I'm going to go and I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to make sure that it's in large and in inches. Okay, so we hit that. Open that up. All right, cool. And now we're going to be in the top view. And we're going to go under File, and we're going to go ahead and insert. And we should go over and find that file, wherever you put it. I'm on a new computer, so I'm kind of doing this in a little bit different way. I think I put it in my documents. Oh, okay. For some reason that did not take. I'm just going to do it real quick again so you guys can see, and we'll all be in the same page. Drawing, DWG. I've already done all of that, so we don't need to do that. Just make sure I'm in. Okay, I'm just going to go. Go ahead and put it in a good folder. And then in Rhino, again, we'll go to Insert. Okay, so this is important. Do you want it linked? If you plan on kind of updating this, it might be good that it's linked. So we'll try that. And then the next thing that's important is that you want the insertion point to be just automatic. So wherever it thinks of 0, 0, 0, that's where you want it. So you don't mess with that. You don't want to scale it. You don't want to rotate it. You want it to come in exactly where it thinks the world is according to Revit. So again, turn that off. You do not want to place it. I cannot stress that enough, because if you place it, then it's going to be it'll look right in Rhino, but then when you export back out of Rhino, you're going to have to figure out where did I want that. So the whole point of this being that we want to get the logic of where Rhino thinks space is and where Revit thinks the space is to be exactly the same. So it came and kind of plopped it down. It looks like it's a little bit arbitrary. It's not arbitrary. It's where Revit thinks it is. It's good. Okay, so now I have a plan. So, I mean, that's all I've got. So if that is all I need so that I can do some kind of modeling, I kind of know where the structural grid is, it allows me to make something relatively quick, then this is great. We could just go with this. But oftentimes you're going to need something more. So in that case, if you need the three-dimensional model, then you just go up to 3D view. We'll just go with I think any 3D view will work, but we'll just go with this orthographic projection, this kind of axonometric. And we'll do the same process. So we're just going to go File, Export, CAD, DWG. Here we have to hit three dots again because we want to make sure that it's not a polymesh, but it's an ACIS solids. And the rest of it is just fine. We do want it in AutoCAD 2007, say OK, next, and then this will be, it's picking it as, calling it out as 3D view, and that's fine. Maybe if I really needed to call it something I would, but I think that'll be fine, the generic name. And now we go into Rhino and follow that process all over again. So now we're going to bring in a 3D view. Linked might be okay. Again, it's kind of whatever you think you need. If you plan on updating, then linked's fine. If you embed, what it'll mean is that it'll all come in kind of blocks, and you can kind of start to delete things and move things out of the way. So it's all in kind of how you're wanting to think about it. I'm just going to go ahead and link, because maybe I'll make changes to Revit and then I'll want to update this. So let's just go see. Again, I'm turning off the insertion point because I want this to come in exactly where Revit thinks the origin should be. You do have some things that you can control. I'm going to go ahead and keep it whatever the default is. Okay, so now I've got the 3D model in here. If I'm in shaded, you'll see, that's weird. Okay, so shaded, you'll see it like this. How annoying I want the colors to be is really just up to me changing this palette. I think we may have covered that in another class. I'm just going to go with, say, white for now. I mean, I can, just so I can kind of see it in just kind of this basic form. All right, so that's it. That's all you need to bring things into Rhino, and then the next video we'll start to talk about manipulating something and then bringing it from Rhino into Revit.